All right, class. First off, as always, good day. I'm glad you're here. Today, we are going to be talking about resumes and interviews. This is the do's and don'ts for each one of those, okay? This video, I'm telling you right now, it is going to be a long video. So if you think, oh, this is only something I could just like skip, stop, guys, that's probably the worst thing you can do. I'm telling you right now. To not listen to this video. I know a lot of you guys don't watch or really listen to the other videos. I get that. I know that. I'm not a fool. But this one is really, really important, especially if you're trying to get a job. You need to listen. You need to hear the examples given and things like that, okay? Because I don't want you guys making a mistake and then you be like, well, I did everything Mr. Martinez said. Well, did you actually listen to what I said? Or did you just write things down and think, oh, I know it already now? No, you got to listen. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. The objective, we're going to analyze how one should say and not say during interviews. We're going to examine the difference between good and bad resumes. I'm actually going to put up a couple of them for you. And then we're going to create an argument on whether you should be completely honest on your resumes. Okay. Now here's your warm-up picture. The first question asks you what's going on here. Okay, pretty easy, pretty self-explanatory. The second question asks you which one do you think people fail on more? Do you think it's their resumes or their interviews? Which one do you think most people fail on? And why do you feel that? Why do you feel that way? Okay, so pause the video, write your response, okay, because we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, so what is a resume? A resume is a document created and used by a person to present their background, skills, and accomplishment to future employers. Okay, little fun facts I found. Employers look at your resume for an average of only 6 to 7 seconds. So what they do is they just skim through. They just look at it going, If there's a second page, they'll look at it, and then they'll basically put in two piles. One for consideration, the other is a no. Okay, that's the no pile. Just by looking at it for 6 to 7 seconds, they can tell. Okay, this resume, it was done really well. It was thought out. This one was just put together last minute. They're trying to be cute, trying to be funny or whatever. Yeah, we're not taking them seriously, so no. Okay. The resume you see on the side here, that is a generic standard resume. Okay, that's a person's name, experience, education, skills, certifications, things like that. Okay, so that's that part. Now you should have two papers, one that had the warm-up picture and the question number 3 and 4. And then you should have another one that says on top, tips to get resume read. There should be some blanks in there. This is where you would start writing, okay? So the first thing is you get better results if you send your resume between 6 and 10 a.m. All right? Now, here's why. During that time, usually from 8 to 10, the people looking at your resumes, that's what they're doing. They're reading, scanning them really quickly, and they're making the piles. So right from the first look, they're already saying yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Then from 10 to 12, 12 to 4, they are actually reading the good ones, the ones that look like there's potential. They're going through them, saying, hey, this is what we're looking for this one. Yeah, no, this person didn't do that great of a job. Now, imagine this. You're sitting in class, there's 10 minutes left in class, and I give you an assignment saying, here's this paper. You guys have 10 minutes to get this done, or you get a 0. You would be all mad at me, like, oh, why you give it to me now? Why right when I'm about to leave? Same thing with these guys. They don't want to get your resume at 3 o'clock in the afternoon right before they're about to leave. They don't want that. So they might just put it straight into the no pile. You know, why? This person decided to turn it all late, so why? Okay. Use the right language to stand out. We'll be talking a little bit more about that later on. Keep your resume short and direct. Again, another thing we'll be talking about a little bit. Checking for errors, choosing the right format, and include a summary and your contact information. Yes, your phone number, email, something. It's happened, as some people have told me, where the resumes don't have an email address or a phone number. So it's like, how do you expect them to make contact with you? Are they supposed to just know who you are? You know, it's those little things that make your resume go away. Okay. All right. Now, tips on making your resume stand out. Your resume should be clear, concise, and tailored for the job in which you're applying for. Okay. So if you're going into nursing, your resume should use vocabulary dealing with nursing. Like, I am currently taking classes in phlebotomy. Phlebotomy? Phlebotomy? Phlebotomy. You know, you would say things like, I have taken courses for my CNA license and things like that. You should not put anything like, my last job was at Target and I drove a forklift. What's that got to do with nursing? Absolutely nothing. Which goes into our next point. Highlight relevant skills and experience. Point out stuff you've done in other jobs that is going to be good for acquiring your next job. So let's say me. Let's say I stop teaching and I go into try to get a manager position. They might tell me, "Hey, do you have any skills managing?" Well, I was in education teaching high school kids for 14 years. That's pretty good managing. That if you can get kids to do their work, yeah, that's good managing skills. Okay. Demonstrate results by number and metrics. So let's say you're trying to be a secretary, right? You would probably get a certificate saying that you can write 55 words a minute. You know, if you were going into sales, you might want to say, hey, you know what? My last job, my record is 55% conversion rate. So every time I made a call, there's a 55% chance that I would make a sale with that. You know, so statistics help. Think beyond your job duties. Okay. So let's say going back to the secretary position, if you say, "Oh, I'm really good at analyzing data," that's pretty good because you'll be filing stuff and you'll be getting a lot of paperwork. And if something you see doesn't look right, you could bring it up to the boss, like, "Hey, look, check this out. This doesn't look right." You know. Again, focus on your achievements, and we're going to talk about this a little bit later on too. And same thing with the keywords. Use keywords that are relevant to your desired job, but don't use it too much. And I'll explain why in a second. All right, so now you're going to go back to that paper that had your warm up, and you're going to answer for number one. Of all the tips and tricks shared, which three do you feel are the most important? So on that first page, that's what we went over so far. On the other paper, what are three tips or tricks you feel are the most important? Okay, I should really remember these three. If anything else about this first part, I should remember these three. What are those three? And explain why they're important. Okay, there's a writing prompt on the bottom to help you out. Okay, so write your responses. Okay, pause the video because we're moving on in three, two, one. All right, now let's go to the don'ts. Number one thing, do not put a photo of yourself. Unless you're an actor trying to get a part, you should not be putting a photo of yourself on your resume. Okay? The second thing is do not write down all your accomplishments. Do not be putting down, I won first place in the spelling bee in third grade. Well, good for you. What's that got to do with us now? Absolutely nothing. That's not impressive. Third grade, your vocabulary words were like there and there. You know, doctor. Woo, challenging, so challenging. So don't put that stuff down. Avoid embellishments, colors, and unnecessary graphics. Okay, do not put little cute things on there, little graphics there, like because this looks like a blank area. I don't like that. I'm gonna put this little thing there. No, as one of my friends told me, somebody actually put on the resume one of those little look like comic things where they have the little action star things around. And it says like, "Wow, isn't he great?" And they had that kind of crap all on the side of their resume. If you're trying to go for cute, okay, fine, but don't turn that in as an actual resume, okay? Because that looks childish. It looks stupid. Don't do it, okay? The next one, select appropriate margins that leave sufficient blank space. Again, you don't want to leave your resume with too much blanks, but you don't want it to be all crammed up either. So what you should do is follow the next thing. Consider using a, a resume template from a word processing program like Microsoft Word. I believe Google Forms has some type of resume template or an online source. Go to Google and type in, uh, resume template, and you'll get a bunch of stuff. Okay. Now, like I said earlier, do not you overuse keywords, such like things like team player, you know, um, quick learner. Okay, once, twice, fine. Three times, you're kind of stretching it too much. Anything more than three times, it's like you are trying to fill in a blank. You're trying to, you're just repeating the same thing over and over again. They've already read it, so it's like, well, why keep reading this if it's going to say the same thing over and over again as the other times? Then why read it? You know. So watch out for those keywords. And another one too, guys. Your birth date, your marital status, meaning if you're single, married, divorced, whether you have kids, if you have a dog named Pongo, who cares? Don't put that on your resume. They don't want to know that. If they do want to know that, they'll ask you, "Hey, do you have a dog named Pongo? You have any kids?" They'll ask that kind of stuff. Okay, but don't put on your resume. Okay, it's not one of those online dating service app things. They don't care. Okay, so don't put it down. It just looks horrible. All right. So, according to Career Builder, this is they did a study on bad resumes, and this is what it consists of. 77% of all the bad resumes tossed out were mainly because of bad grammar and typos. Okay. The other really, really big one was unprofessional email addresses. So you should not be putting an email like big booty licious 22. No, no. You know, Pimp Daddy Kane 0521. No. Don't put those emails. Guys, if you have emails like that and you're like, well, I don't got anything else, Google, go to Google, get another Gmail account. They're free. Put your name, your last name, and whatever numbers pop up. Put 111111111. Okay? They're free. So get a professional email address, one for your jobs and things like that, and another one for your personal, which you guys already have. Okay? No one needs gonna hire you if you put something like, you know, faded every day. That's not going to be a good email. They're gonna look at that email going, yeah, no. But they don't know me. Yeah, but your email is giving them a hint. Even if you don't do that, even if it's just a joke, they're gonna take that seriously, and you're not gonna get the job. Okay, so don't do it. Also, another thing, no qualifying achievements on the resume. So when it comes to that part in the resume, and like, well, what have you done in this field? Again, whether it's medical or whatever, you know, if you have no achievements, no certificates, no, you know, employee of the month type of thing in another job, they're just going to pass you up. Okay. Your resume, again, guys, it should be in bullet points, short and to the point. It's not an essay, so don't fluff it up. Don't put a lot of writing. You know, if you're good at done stainless steel welding, put that stainless steel welding. Don't put I learned the stainless steel from my grandpa who was la 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 la. No, don't put that stuff. Okay. Generic resumes not tailored for the job. Again, the resume you have when applying for McDonald's should not be the same kind if you're trying to get into a corporate job, um, teaching, nursing, things like that. Even if automobile, if you're trying to get a job at a dealership, things like that, you're not going to put the same resume as you had when you worked at McDonald's. Okay, your resume should not be any longer than 2 pages. Okay, here's another big one I want to tell you guys: your social media pages. Okay, your the people who are going to look at your resume, they're going to look for your social media site. Okay. Remove any damaging pictures, images, or posts that you put up. Okay. Um, and change the profile picture now. Don't change it the day before your interview because, again, they could just look it up and say, oh, this was last updated yesterday. What picture was before? Was it something bad, incriminating? What? And it's just going to draw a lot of suspicion, a lot of like, I don't know, probably something bad. We tend to think something negative when we don't know. They're going to do the same thing. Okay, so change your profile pic if it's inappropriate. Change it at least like a month before. Okay. Now here's 2 examples of good resumes. Okay. The person you see to the left, they are a computer scientist. They have their information on there, phone number, LinkedIn, uh, web page thing. They got their jobs right there from the most recent to the farthest one. They got their education, their skills in database management, languages, researching, things like that. Soft skills, teamwork, problem solving, flexibility. They even put the volunteer stuff because why? It applies to their job. Fire tech summer camp. They're going for a technical job and they're saying, hey, I even volunteer during the summer at a camp teaching technology. That's good. That shows, hey, this stuff is my life. The next one is a person going being a welder. So as you can see there, expert in stick welding, pipe welding, available on nights and weekends, familiar with sub-arc welding, good problem solver, works well with team. That's all great stuff. Then the next thing, they tell you what jobs they had. Working at this place, here's my responsibilities. Here's this other place I worked at, here's my responsibilities, my education, my certificates. Boom, perfect. Okay, not much color in either one of them. The spacing is good. It's not all cramped. and it's easy for the eyes to follow. Okay. Now let's look at the bad ones. Okay. So the person on your right, if you see those three blue boxes, those were curse words that they put in their resume. You see the person again to the right saying, "I'm the best in the world at." Yeah, video editing, blogging skills, skills with a Z, not an S. Social media, chivalry. Chivalry, if you guys don't know, is like when the guy opens the door for a girl, holds the door open for them, helps them up, things like that. That's being chival. And apparently he says he's the best in the world at it. Yeah, okay. The next person to the other side, the guy named Ham, if you notice, um, the email, hobbies, jujitsu, philosophy, education, University of Phoenix, AS in business, and president of Jiu-Jitsu Club. Impressive. Now, if you look at the very bottom, the skills part, Office, that's Microsoft Office. He's saying he's 35% good at that. Italian language, he's only 15%. Then why even put that? Keeping it cool, 100%. Sales, 100%. Customer service, 90%. Okay, so a lot of bad things going on there. So for this question, you guys are actually going to go back like 30 seconds or so, pause the video, and you're going to find three mistakes made by those two resumes. Okay, it could be all three mistakes on one of them. It could be two on one on the other, or vice versa. Okay, but you're going to find three mistakes made. So you're going to look at that other paper and then look at those resumes again and find three mistakes they made. Okay, so pause the video, write your response because we're moving on in 3, 2, 1. All right, now here's the thing. Here's what you do during an interview. Okay, first one, arrive on time. Arrive before. Okay, 10 to 15 minutes is best. That shows them that you actually care, that you're willing to spend an extra 10, 15 minutes waiting to get this job. So you're there on time. Hey, you never know how traffic's going to be from where your house is to this place. You don't know what happens. You don't know if, hey, they're going to be finished with the person that's before you. They're going to get finished with them early. That looks really good on you. And they're like, oh, well, this person's already here. Oh, wow. 10 minutes before your interview is supposed to be here and you're already here? Okay, that shows you care. Second thing, be confident. Now, there's a thin line between confident and arrogant. We're going to talk about that later on, but hey, try to have that confidence. Be sure of yourself. Another one that's pretty common amongst teenagers and early 20s is eye contact. When you guys get, I hate to say, with your generation, when you guys get um, in an argument, when you're being proven that you're doing wrong by an adult, a lot of guys do this. Eye contact. Make eye contact with the person. When they're telling you something, look them straight in the eye. And don't roll your eyes. That's like, that stuff. Don't do that crap. Okay? Another one, introduce yourself. When they say, Mr. So-and-so, you're next. Come on up. Hey, my name is, and offer your hand. If they do a fist bump, do a fist bump. Okay? It's COVID time. We don't know what's going on with them. Okay? So do that. Another one, use good grammar when speaking. Do not go like, oh, bruh. Don't do that bruh stuff. Again, they're your future boss. They are not your friend. They are not your next door neighbor who you're going to be kicking it with later. So don't talk to them like that. Okay? And don't use like and love and hate. Don't use those words. Use different words besides love, hate, and things like that. Extend your vocabulary. When asked about the job, they say, "Do you have any questions about this job?" Ask them something like, "Who do I go to if I have an issue with this or that? Do I go to a manager, or is there somebody here with a lot of experience?" Um, you can tell them, say like, if there's a issue comes up, do I talk to the technical people, or is there a supervisor I could talk to? That's good questions because that shows, hey, you are thinking about the future, already thinking ahead. That hey, I'm going to get this job, and just in case this happens, I want to know what I do. Okay, and again, that goes to the next part. It shows interest in the company. You're already thinking about the future. Now, other than fast food, you should really research the company and their mission statement. Okay, when you're being interviewed, you can be like, "Hey, you know what? I read this article saying that your company is going to be expanding to the next town over. That's really interesting. That's really cool. Hey, that shows you are really interested in this company and that you want to see what they're doing." Okay, guys, talk to your interviewer. Do not nod your head. If they ask you like, "So are you comfortable?" Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay? Like my grandpa used to say, only burros do that. Burros do this. If you don't know what burros are, that's donkeys. Only donkeys nod their head. People, we speak. So you should speak. Here's another big one. Leave your troubles at the door. I don't care if your boyfriend, girlfriend cheated on you, your car got busted a tire on the way over. You find out your your cat ate the goldfish and your dog killed the dog and killed the cat. Leave your problems at the door. Okay? Don't bring it with you into the interview. Don't be all mad and oh god, you're just guaranteeing yourself a failure. And it's just going to make your day even worse. So leave all your troubles at the door. Here's another big one, too. One of my neighbors told me one of the things she likes to do is ask just random question. You know, I saw one online that basically said, "How many lemons can fit in a limousine?" Why? Do they? Why are they asking that? I don't know. They're trying to read you, see how you respond. You know, do you get angry? Do you respond? Do you think about it? You know, things like that. Okay. So you got to be prepared for any questions that might come up. Now, just in case it's more than a one on one, let's say there's a panel, bring some copies of your resume. And when you get there, be like, oh, I didn't know this was going to be a panel. But I don't know if you guys have my resume in hand, but I brought some extra copies. That looks good. Okay. Also, keep your calm, keep your cool. Do not put your hands in your pocket. Do not cross your hands. That shows negative things. Okay? If you have to close your hand, you have to touch yourself. Close your hand like this. One hand on top of the other, on top of the desk. Okay? Do that. Okay? But don't, again, like I say, put your hand in your pocket. Don't be, it's like drying off your hands, things like that. Don't be doing that. Okay? So, what not to do? Again, number one thing, don't be on your phones. I've been saying it to every single class. Put your phone in your car. Leave it there. The world can wait for you to get your interview and done with. Okay? You don't need to be texting someone during your interview. That's like the number one thing wrong with teenagers and young adults. That's why a lot of them get fired. So many former students have told me, "Oh, I got fired." Well, why? Oh, my boss was getting all mad because I was on the floor with my phone on. Are you supposed to have your phone with you on the floor? No. Well, I was texting my mom. Who cares? Who cares? That's why you have a break so you can call your mom, talk to her. You know, there's no excuse. If they tell you don't take your phone here or there, don't take your phone. Okay? Your life does not evolve around your phone. Put your phone away. Another big one, use of slang. I mentioned this earlier. They are your potential boss. They are not your friend. Do not use slang words with them. Don't be like, oh, this is sus. Don't be saying stuff like that. And speaking of words like that, use the word completely. Don't be like, cuz. Don't be saying that kind of stuff. Say because. Okay? Now, words like like, these are natural. These are natural. They're gonna come up. Even I do this during class time. You've heard me if you've been in class. But don't let it be too much. Don't be like uh like uh uh you might as well say nothing at all. Just be something like that. Okay, don't be doing that. Okay. Like I said, be confident but not cocky. There's a difference. Confidence is um when they ask you what's your greatest strength or your greatest weakness. What is your greatest weakness? Cocky is saying, I have no weakness. Um, I'm sorry, you're not Superman. Everyone has a weakness. That basically tells them you're not really thinking of a response. You're just trying to sound better than everyone else. You're not putting any thought into the question. You know, confident would be like, you know what? My biggest fault is that uh, I'm a perfectionist. I try to do my best each time, and I know there's no such thing as perfect, but I try to do everything better and better and better each time. When I do my assignments, every time I do my projects, I try to do the best that I can, and even then, it's like I just want to do better. That's confident. You're not saying, "Oh, I do it perfect every single time." You're saying, "I do this job, but I feel I can do better." That's confidence. Okay? You know you could do better and you try to do better. Okay? Another one, don't look around during the interview because that makes you look uninterested in the conversation. You're just, So, yeah, this weekend I'll probably go and, just hang out with my friends and, uh, just do stuff like that with them. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good at all. When asked, do you have any questions for us? Do not ask stupid questions like, so when do I get paid? Or, as one student said, do you guys have any good looking girls here? Doesn't really do that well. Okay. Another one, don't come with an attitude and don't feel too anxious. I know some of you guys have told me, I have anxiety, Mr. Martinez. Okay, I get that. I get that. Some people have really bad anxiety. But here's the thing, you're already 17, 18, 19 years old. You should know some tricks on how to calm yourself down. So do it. Whether it's focusing and breathing, doing the countdown, breathing, counting down, you know, you guys know the tricks you do to calm yourself down. So do it. Okay? Now, I shouldn't have to say this, but I have to. Do not make any reference to alcohol or drugs. Okay. I was talking to somebody and they said, I was in the process of hiring somebody. And when I asked the person, I wanted to hire them, but when I asked them, what are you going to do this after this interview? They said, oh, I don't know, go home and smoke a bowl. That's a guaranteed no. Okay. Because again, that tells that person, well, you are a drug user. That means you probably going to get high, you're going to get drunk, you're going to do whatever, and it's going to impede your work. Okay, so no, do not make any reference to alcohol or drugs. Last one, guys. Read the room. All right. So if the person who's interviewing you or the people who are interviewing you, if they're serious, be serious too. Do not be trying to be jokester or be charming, things like that. Okay. If the person across from you is kind of joking with you and things like that, being lighthearted, okay, fine. Be lighthearted too. But don't be overly trying to be like, oh, I'm going to tell you some funny jokes. Oh, I'm going to show you how of a fun person I am. No, they'll find that out when they get to know you when you get the job. Okay? But read the room. That's another thing a lot of my former students have told me. You know, dang, the people are so serious and they're like a stick up their butt. I'm like, why do you say that? Well, I was trying to say this and trying to do that, and they just like looked at me like I was weird or something. I was like, well, were they very serious when you were talking to them? Yeah. Were you? No. Why weren't you? You know. So read the room, guys. It's important. So here's the thing: of all the do's and don'ts of the interview part, what are three things you feel that you need to work on? Okay. Is it like the confidence? Is it the hey, well, being not being arrogant? I feel like maybe I might be too confident, you know, or go through the other ones, right? And write down three of them. What do you feel you need to work on? Okay, so use that paper, go through it, okay, of the do's and don'ts on the interviews. All right, so write your response because we're moving on in three, two, one. All right, so the last thing is how to look during an interview. Okay, um, I know I shouldn't have to tell you guys, but apparently I do. Um, take a shower. Take a shower before you go to your interview. Wear something that smells good, like cologne. That helps. Girls, those little foo-foo sprays, one, two sprays, that's it. Okay? Don't be don't be bathing yourself in that stuff. Okay? Just don't. Okay? It doesn't help you. Okay? Another thing is clean, iron clothes. All right, especially for guys. Um, if you don't have an iron, you don't know how to iron your clothes. You can always take your clothes to a one of those. Oh my God, what are those places called? The washing places, the laundromats. Where the people actually like press and remove stains and things like that from clothing. $5 on average, and they'll crease your pants and your shirts and stuff like that. And it looks nice. Okay. Another one, wear clean shoes, not tennis shoes, dress shoes. Okay. Comb your hair. Okay. Now, I do understand, especially with girls, sometimes like if humidity is out and about, your hair will like start to, bust out. Do the best you can. Okay. do the best you can. Uh, I get it. Sometimes nature is not playing around, is messing with your hair. Too much humidity, and it just like puffs up. But hey, try your best. Okay. Now, to say you don't have a suit, okay, a suit and tie, you can still look professional looking. You can wear polos like these, right? Just button it up, the collar down, you know, things like that. Tuck the shirt in, okay? You can still look professional even without shirt and tie and a suit, okay? Guys, you may want to consider cleaning up. I don't mean like shaving your goatee or your mustache or your beard, but maybe trim the beard. If you have like me right here, like the 5 o'clock shadow, hey, just get the razor really quickly and just clean that up a little bit. You know, keep the goatee and all this stuff, but just clean it up. Ladies, cover it up. Okay. As one of my former students told me some years ago, um, she went in with the blouse, open, the tiny, tiny skirt, thinking, oh, I'm going to get interviewed by a guy. He'll hire me because I'm so cute and I'm, showing a little. Problem was, she was interviewed by two girls. As you can guess, it didn't go too well. Okay. Because again, she relied on her looks and was not prepared. So that really hurt her. How you should not wear, or what you should not look like during the interview. You should not wear torn clothing at all. Jeans are a no-no from everything I've read and a couple people I've talked to who've hired. They said no, no jeans. That's a straight automatic no. Do not wear shorts. Okay, I don't care if it's summertime. I don't care. There's AC in the place. There should be AC in your car. If they're not, roll down the windows and drive at 60 miles an hour. You'll feel an AC there too. Okay. Polos, button shirts. Okay. Yes, they're fine. But make sure your button shirts are actually buttoned up and that your polo shirts, like I said, are tucked in. Make sure your clothes fit you, that they're not too tight, but they're not too big, too baggy. That they're hanging off your butt and stuff like that. Okay. Pick your pants up. Wear a belt. Okay. And unless you have glasses that change from sunglasses to regular glasses, you should not have sunglasses at all. I don't care if they're hanging off your shirt, on top of your head, whatever. Get rid of the sunglasses. Okay. Um, do not wear sandals. Don't wear dirty, torn, or unprofessional shoes. Okay. Do not wear that kind of stuff because that does not look professional. It does not look like you care. It looks like right after this, you're going to go to Chuck E. Cheese and play some games with your niece and nephews. Okay, it doesn't look like you're really there for an interview. All right, so here's your next question. Do you right now have clothes that can be considered good to wear for an interview? If so, what is it? Tell me. Your the For your chest, your leggings, your feet, you know, what are the things you're going to wear? If you don't have good clothes for an interview, tell me, where would you go for each piece of clothing? Where would you go shopping at to find a good shirt, blouse, pants, or skirt, shoes? Where would you go? Where could you possibly go to find the right clothing, and what would you get? Okay. So pause the video, write your response because we're moving on in three, two, one. All right, so here's your exit ticket. The first question asks you, what do you feel you need to work on in order to be ready for an interview? If you feel you are ready, what's one thing that you can improve on? Because again, no one's perfect. You can always improve on something. So go through your list and find something that, like, if all the things, maybe this one thing I should really improve on. The second question says, have you ever written a resume? If not, do you feel confident in writing one right now? And explain. If you have written one, with what you've learned today, what can you do to improve it? Okay, because again, you can always improve. So, what could you do to improve your resume if you've already written one? All right. So, that's the end of this lesson. Hopefully, you learned something new. I did tell you this was going to be a long one, and it sure was. Okay. But again, guys, you follow these tricks, you follow these little tips, um, you will land that job, whatever it may be. Okay. So, um, you guys, you take care, you be safe, and I'll see you later. Okay.